Hey guys, this is Comic Inno, and today I'm doing a review for Teen Wolf. And with this episode, we get the second part of the Eichen House storyline with Lydia. So her pack is trying to save her and get her out of Eichen House, which is pretty much the plot for last episode. So that's why I'm saying this is a part 2. But here we get to see some unlikely team-ups. We see Theo and Styles team up in this episode. Malia and Kira team up with some of Theo's minions. And even Lydia's mom is kind of there in the end of the episode, helping out the pack. And really, what this episode's about, learning a little bit more of the connection between the Hellhound and the Banshee, Parrish, and Lydia. And also learning a little bit more about the Beast, seeming like he's a teenager, which was kind of, predictable, I guess. And he's like, yes, he was a teenager, but he was a human. Now you gotta figure out who he is. And of course, Theo is very obsessed with this. He wants power, and he's okay with manipulating anyone he wants. Another storyline going on is with Hayden, her figuring out her place. Does she want to be on Theo's side, or does she want to be on Liam's side? They show that a little bit in this episode, but I'm sure that's going to build up more towards this season. But what do I think of the episode as a whole? I was a little disappointed with this episode, just because I was really looking forward to this episode as a Lydia fan. But I was disappointed that it wasn't really a Lydia episode. Now you guys are probably questioning, is like, of course it was a Lydia episode, it was all about her, but it really wasn't her doing things. I feel like she was definitely more of a plot device than, oh, let's develop Lydia's character. Not saying that's a bad thing, because obviously Lydia's had a lot of great character development over the years. I just know they're not going to concentrate on Lydia as much, because we had these 2-part episodes, and it wasn't really about her as a character, because most of it is her in a coma or her screaming her head off because of what's going on and what's being experimented on her. So I kind of wish we just saw more of Lydia as Lydia, but obviously understand why they couldn't do it in this episode. But that's why I was a little disappointed with some of the storylines. Also, I feel like there were some storylines that didn't really fit this episode, that maybe could have been told in another episode. Hayden's storyline, yes, it connects to Theo, which I still don't think is a great villain for this season, and I don't think the Beast is either. But it connects to Hayden and like what her place is, but it didn't really fit what was going on with Lydia. Maybe storyline wise it did, but I guess me caring wise it really didn't. Even though I think the Mason scenes were a lot of fun, and I think that was great comedic relief, I don't know if I really cared about Hayden's story here, even though I do like the character. Another one I felt was very out of place, that you honestly really didn't need in this episode at all, even more than the Hayden stuff, was Kira and Malia's side of the story. They were, of course doing their own thing and trying to figure out what's going on with Kira's abilities, but if they weren't in this episode, they really wouldn't have changed anything. I think it was just because, like, oh, what do we do with them? I guess we'll have this story and progress a little bit with Kira's story. Now, what I like about that is, of course, I really do like the friendship between Malia and Kira, but I honestly don't think this plot really fit in this episode. But things I did enjoy, obviously the Styles and Lydia moments I thought were really well done. Finally getting Lydia out of Eichen House, because we obviously haven't had, an actual Lydia being Lydia story just yet this season, just because she's been in Eichen House this whole time. So I'm excited to see her be, more active in the pack. I wonder how her powers have changed now that they filled up that hole. I wonder if she still has more of the proactive powers. I hope she does, or else this whole build-up would be kind of a waste in my opinion. But I really hope they kind of play with that. And another part I really enjoyed that I wanted even more from, which hopefully will be explored in future episodes, because there's been so much build-up to it, is Lydia and her mom. The mom finally realizing, oh, I did the wrong thing, let me go save my daughter, and then Lydia saying, this is all, thanks Styles for saving me. Now, I think they're definitely going to have the conversation of what's going on in Lydia's world, what are werewolves, what is the supernatural world, and I think that'll definitely be my favorite scene, because some of my favorite scenes of this show is, like, Melissa and Scott, their relationship after she found out, even, Styles and his father after he found out. There were some really great scenes. So I'm hoping the same thing happens with Lydia and her mother, because I think this has been such a build-up that's, you know, we've waited a very long time, I hope it pays off, because Lydia's mom has been very, trying to look the other way with a lot of these situations. I want to learn why that is, and will Lydia say straight up, I'm a banshee, and what exactly that means, because obviously she hasn't had that conversation with her yet. So I guess my excitement for next episode is the aftermath of what happened here with Lydia, with her mom, and with Eichenhaus, and how that changes her character. So yeah, this was an okay episode, for something I was very excited about. If I didn't know this was going to be such a Lydia, you know, centric episode, and is just like a normal episode, I think I would have given it a little higher, but I had a lot of hype, and it was a little let down in some points. So it was an okay episode. Of course, I'll review Teen Wolf next week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.